Right now I'm plotting out a room that belongs to Hannah, who's one of the house slaves, and Mabel, the young hero of my story, ends up staying in this room. The room is more Spartan and smaller than some of the others. I'm cutting it off here. I'll probably have a small window here, a door here, and some indications of her daily grind of labor. Everything will be distressed, and obviously I have to paint this dresser here. I need to add a homemade quilt, maybe a small rug, but it'll be pretty Spartan, distressed, and with much more detail, of course. So I think I'll go with a plain custom-made door. I'll put a little handle on it, and I plan to do the walls a cream color, but make them really distressed, like this room hasn't been painted in a very long time. Right now I'm adding some gray. You can see I tend to darken around corners and edges first. Those would naturally become the most worn areas, and I'm going to be doing a lot of layers, mostly with some gray and brown to get it aged and more textured, and I'll add some simple door frames and baseboards. On this wall you can see a window, and I want this room to be an attic space, so I'm going to add a slanted ceiling, which will be a great opportunity. I'm using these picture frames as window frames, and the skylight will work well to let moonlight through for night scenes, so it'll provide me with that light source. And really the only nighttime light sources otherwise are lanterns and candles, so it's really an opportunity to shed as much light as I can into this room. So I finished the initial build and distressing of the room, though still need to add the sloping attic ceiling, and I painted the furniture, and I'll demo distressing furniture in another video. But when you're painting a bunch of sticks for baseboards or a floor or whatever, it helps to stick them to tape, I discovered. It's much easier than individually painting them. There's also this great product called Mod Podge, and anyone who's into miniatures knows about this. And it comes in different styles, like glossy or matte. I chose matte because I don't want things to be shiny in front of the lights. But essentially it's both a glue and a sealer in one. This is something I use a lot, and although you can see it goes on like a white paste, it dries clear. And it gives a nice extra texture. It protects it and just gives things a little more dimension. So here's the room. There are still a few things I'm going to do. I added a little hook to the door to hang a coat for more color and detail, and still need to add a door handle. This rug was a brighter fabric, so I coffee stained it. And if I do decide to keep it, I'll have to glue it down really well, or it'll create real problems when I move the dolls across it. The sewing table is here and back. I just sanded it and added, I dulled the black paint and put some fabrics on it. And then I distressed this dresser and chair and bed. I also did jerry-rig the attic and tested that, so I think it's going to work well as a light source. You can see here where it is. So I can really spotlight the characters through there for night scenes. And I wanted this room to feel somewhat confined and tight. It's smaller than my other dioramas, and this is a place where Mabel meets her ghost, so she has to be a little claustrophobic and scary in there. And it's also Hannah's room, and as a slave, she'd certainly be feeling that way for her own reasons. So anyway, that's it, and on to the next one.